Yep.
Okay, let's call the August meeting of the Decatur County Council again. Stand, Jen, and Al, would you read the Senate pledge?
To the republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, everyone. Got the minutes emailed to them, and they had a chance to read them. There should have been two. One from our normal meeting in July, and executive session of July the 31st. And we bring them both together. I'm going to take a motion to approve both sets of minutes.
I so move.
Bill makes a motion. Dan seconds. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hey, we're going to start out. Kelly, Walker, you want to go ahead and I know you have a meeting or something that attends. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for letting me jump in here in line with everyone. I'm obviously here for the 2026 budget request. I represent New Directions of Decatur County Domestic Violence Shelter, and Ashley Wilson is our board president, so there's going to show representation. I am requesting $15,000 in the 2026 budget. I've provided you with a listing of what we would be using those for. Primarily, most of you have sat in front of me when I requested our grants have been right-sized to cover a majority of our expenses at the shelter. However, our mortgage is never covered in that. So historically, it's been used in that regard. When I stood before you last year, we had not secured a new location, and we were granted and blessed with some ARPA funds to be able to do that. So we've been able to acquire a new facility that provides better safety and security for our clients as well as the staff. So the additional funds this year will be again used to contribute towards those expenses that we will have. We do anticipate having a large capital campaign, so we would not be relying completely on this, but they would certainly help in our efforts to provide safety and security to the clients of domestic violence here in Decatur County.
Any questions? Concerns? We'll take a look at it. Have to be it.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Kelly. Okay, Red Alive.
Thank you for letting me come today and for your support. It's a special day because 23 years ago today, we served our first meal. So as I was looking at the calendar today, it's like, what a milestone. Wow. And I look at it as such a great thing for this town, just to drive through this beautiful town and not see people eating out of a dumpster. We've got, this beautiful facility that has rescued 3 million pounds of food over 23 years that would have went into the landfill, and we've prepared it into meals. And we are here today asking for, this is the only grant that we can ask for some help with our operating expenses. So we're asking for the $15,000, which is 75% of our utility budget. And our utilities for last year was almost $19,000. We have over $9,000 in electric, over $6,000 in water, and $3,600 in gas. So we would love to have your support for that. We are never going to be self-sufficient. But we do a big part of our fundraising in-house by ourselves. 32% of our fundraising we do, and that brings in $100,000. The turkey noodle dinner and the farmer's feeding the flock that's going on right now. We just continue to keep growing those, and we'll never, not do those. So we do our part. Last year we served 1,168 different individuals, and they may have needed us just one time during the year, or they may have needed us multiple times. But we have a reputation that we are there. We do not close. The only time we close is if the school's closed because of the roads and the snow and the ice. That's when we close. We are always there, and we are always offering hope through our free meal. And then we also have the clothing ministry, and we are helping people, with that avenue too. It's just a ministry, I think, on both ends of the volunteers that come in and the clients that we serve also. So it's a great thing, and I hope that you can be a part of it and help us out. Yeah. Any questions?
Thank you, ma'am. We'll take a look here in a little bit. Children's Advocacy Center, I think, okay.
Some numbers for you, not the numbers of cases. I thought it must be more interesting to look at what types of cases we see. So these are the numbers from when we open. So they're big, but since these cases are all confidential, it's not something that's just going to read about the paper. I can just for you to see. Law enforcement is yes, or bringing it to us. Oh. And you are our third largest participant in the region, and it's because you're a big county, but it's also because you do case review. You're one of 3 counties that does case review, which is law enforcement, Department of Child Services, our CAC staff, and whoever's involved in some cases. They get together and look at the cases that they're particularly bad, particularly good, and look at what they did wrong and right, and just kind of dive in. And it's a really good way so the cases don't fall through the cracks. And we just don't have the manpower to do them everywhere. We do them in Decatur County. So I think that's a big reason why, of course, I saw here that they're working really well together as a team. And if people realize that these cases are handled well, which they are here, they'll report more. So if the numbers seem kind of high, it's a good reflection on for all the investigators are doing. And I wanted to thank you. We have our 5 years in our standalone office here, and it is the most used office of all of them. And I'm kind of sad to say that it's the best planned because I didn't have anything to do with it. But it is really well planned and it works well. And like everybody else, we appreciate your support through the years. And do you have any questions?
Any questions? Concerns? I'm just taking here it's the most used office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they're, that's what
Yeah. Well, it's
reminds me.
It's, yeah, well, there's some from outside of Decatur County that use it as people like it. And
These numbers are just Decatur County?
yeah. Yeah. And so you can see the trends. It's like all the other counties, it's mostly sexual abuse and then usually physical abuse, but we see witnesses to crime and maybe homicide or death and lots of other things. All those things that I believe this for anybody to know. He knows it.
Can you briefly explain the relationship between PCS, Advocates for Children, CAC, and all that fits together?
It's a good question. Yeah, DCS, is investigators for the state, for child safety and stuff, to make sure children are safe. And CASA, Court Appointed Special Advocates or Child Advocates, There are people that are assigned by the court to children who don't have a parent or a guardian who can represent them kind of as a parent. And so they follow a child through the long haul of whatever is the case they have. For us, we just work with investigations. If somebody has alleged to DCS, they're always the first part that something might have happened. They get with law enforcement, prosecutor usually, and then decide if they need more information. And that's when they come to us, because we have the ability and we have specially trained people to interview children and find out in a court-worthy, child-friendly, non-biased way, in their own words, what happened. And we record those. The investigators watch it from another room, so everything happens in real time, just once, and the children don't have to do it again. Just been a problem in the past. That makes sense?
Yeah. Thank you.
So if you found the child didn't have a voice, so to speak, then you would connect them to CASA?
Well, we don't have any power over that. The court would have to.
You work closer with DCS than you would advocates for children. It has to go to court before advocates get involved.
Well, the judge usually appoints an advocate for the child, as I understand it, because I've never done that work. We're in the crisis phase. If there's maybe a crime been committed, that's when we get involved. And that CASA cases can be a lot of different things, without the child necessarily being harmed. Say both parents are in prison or something.
Since you all can't see these numbers, 66% of Decatur County cases are sexual abuse.
Yeah, and that's normal. I mean, that's what we see in the rest of the region. Anything else?
What was the dollar request?
9,000. Yeah, and we use it. We have this standalone office here now, which of course it's expensive, but worth it because it's an office. And we also have a VOCA grant that pays 80% of our payroll, so we use the county requests to try to match that, the 20%. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's right. Lifetime resource.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I hate that Sarah even has to present. I wish I didn't even need to exist. Anyway, I'm Erin Thomas. I'm the executive director at Lifetime Resources. This is Michelle Gaius. She's our catcher ride director. Firstly, I want to apologize. We are an area agency on aging, and all the things on the front of your letter are true. However, we don't serve you in that capacity here. You actually have another area on aging, which is Ride Alliance. So the one service that we do provide here is catch a ride. So I apologize, you got the wrong cover letter. With catch a ride, of course, it's public transportation. It's available to anyone for any purpose. However, those that utilize our service tend to be older adults, people with disabilities, low income, that sort of thing, for the most part. But you can use the service to go absolutely anywhere. You can go to, doctor's appointments, grocery store, to visit a friend, to the park, out to eat, wherever you'd like to use the service for. Our last full year of data, we served 131 residents and did about 7,800 trips for Decatur County residents. Our budget in Decatur County is around $360,000, and our request is for $10,000, which is just a little under 3% of that. And the funds that are provided are utilized to match our Section 5311 grant, which requires 100% match. And so we do bring in a large portion of our match from our contracted services. So we do Medicaid, Medicare, managed care, non-emergent medical transportation. We also have contracts with DSI. And so all of those bring in match for the program as well. And we do charge a reasonable fare. It starts at $3 for the first 5 miles. Those fares, though, only reduce the expenses that have to be matched. They are not matched themselves. What am I missing? Do you have any questions? I'm happy to answer any questions.
You mentioned non-emergent medical transportation. Do you have any contracts with Veterans Service? that takes veterans to and from the VA or anything like that? Any opportunities there?
No, we don't have any contracted services with them. And a lot of times those folks are going outside of the area.
Mhm.
And we're restricted to our 6 county service area. So that's kind of like their niche. And we do refer, we refer them back and forth and things like that. But we don't have any like contracts with them necessarily.
And a lot of times the veteran services have volunteers that drive for them to take the
And in
veterans.
Decatur County's case, we don't.
Oh,
currently.
okay.
That's why I'm asking.
Okay.
There's an opportunity there to
Yeah.
provide some transportation, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Any other questions or concerns? Okay,
Thank you for your consideration.
thank you, ladies. Chief Strong.
Good morning, council. I'm here representing the 911 as service chairman. Not asking for any money, but asking for a approval of policy. Currently, the 911 center utilizes Motorola services for our dispatch, all things dispatching, and all things 911 related that is used by fire, police, EMS, and all emergency response agencies. Currently, when Motorola sends a bill, they send it to the Sheriff's Department or Decatur County Technology. That bill is then having to be split between city and county, with each individual agency then cutting its own check. We have found this extremely difficult to manage. Ashley Wilson, our secretary, who pays and makes sure all bills have been maintained, consistently has to go back and rectify. We just recently rectified a 4-year-old issue that has never been taken care of, mainly because they say that full payment has not been made. At our last 911 board meeting, the executive board made up of city and county officials both did vote to have the county go ahead and pay the entire bill, and the county issue a bill to the city to reimburse for the city's aspect, and then the city would cut a check to the county for that payment. This way, one complete check can be sent to Motorola so the bill can be paid in full, and then money can then be taken back from the city and put back into those accounts. The reason for coming to you today is obviously the budget amount in the county budget does not only covers the county portion as well as city budget covers the city portion. It would run in the red for a short time until the city check basically cleared. Sheriff Myers presented this as a FYI to the commissioners yesterday, and I am here today to request that a vote be taken on that policy. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Are there 30-day terms, or what are the terms from Motorola?
They do have 30-day terms, but it's not followed. Unfortunately, they don't really communicate well until they like realize they have their money. Like I said, we're dealing with an issue that was from 2023 where they double billed us.
So what I was thinking about was, once the 911 board gets the invoice from Motorola or whatever invoice, that gets turned into Christie. Christie cuts a invoice to the city. Can the city reimburse the county within that term's time, where we're really not running into red, as you just mentioned? City pays the county, then the county pays the invoice.
Yes, within 30 days, yes. As far as like the month goes, no, because obviously the city we meet, all claims are paid on that second Tuesday. So that would be that second Wednesday is when the check could be cut. Yes, I don't foresee it, Rick, like the account running in the red for the full year and then having to do some type of appropriation or to say like, hey, we need to rectify this. They bill twice a year anyway, so it's not going to happen every month. When they bill us, it's obviously very large amounts, but it's only twice a year for services, because that is also then split. So not one county agency pays for everything and not one city agency pays for everything. It's billed to the city, but the police department has a percentage, and then the fire department has a percentage. And the same is for the county. So there's a lot of moving. It's almost a game of chess, unfortunately. And hopefully doing it this way is the better way of doing it. Everybody's going to get what they're owed. It's just potentially a cleaner way to do it. So we're not arguing with Motorola. Because most of the time when we find out is when we try to either upgrade or if we have an issue, then they're like, well, your bill's not paid. And that's usually when the emails start coming, and Ashley is always investigating that and figuring out why, and actually doing their job and to say, hey, here's the check numbers, here's where it's at. Why isn't this reflecting that? And we've never so far gotten an apology, just legal accounts.
Might create a problem, Christie. Be okay with it?
If they are unable to split the bill and send it to two agencies, I mean, that seems pretty simple.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
The rule won't do that.
Correct.
They're big enough, they don't need to.
And you're the only game in town.
Yeah, when literally it's monopoly, they get to kind of pick and choose their terms. And as simple as it sounds of all of us pooling our money together and sending one check like we do pretty much currently, that still doesn't work. This is truly a fault of theirs and not ours. We just have to be the ones that are reactive to it, because there's no way, and to try to be proactive in changing our policy to match them.
Well, the contracted services under their budget, that $132,000, is that the motor rule?
Yes. Well, that is for some of the Motorola. There's others in there as well.
What is a bill every 6 months?
So we just got into a subscription service. I think it's gonna be 85 for the first year. And then we also have a maintenance bill that comes once a year, and that's usually between 10 and 13,000.
So it's usually averages out to around 64,000 a year.
64 a year?
Once we, yeah.
Or 32,000.
Once we pay that in, hopefully the subscription fee or the subscription service will actually help us. Again, they're the only game in town, and they've kind of moved away from just contracts, and now you subscribe. And so we're just kind of stuck going with the flow. They're not the only game in town, but they're one of few games in town, and the money that you all plus the city have invested in 911 and the dispatch, they kind of got us, because we shouldn't switch. The money that we've invested is far greater than the money that it would take to change providers.
Well, I don't think we got much choice, do we? I entertain a motion,
We gotta pay it, doesn't matter.
as long as we get the money back.
Yeah.
Christie said,
Invoice. Mhm.
no problem.
I think they have it down pat. I mean, I think it'll work just fine.
We have to do some kind of a memorandum of understanding on that.
It should be between the commissioners, and that's pretty much money, isn't it? There's an MOU.
Well, should there be something, you're right, should there be something that says that,
We're gonna pay it and they gotta pay it.
Yeah, it should be an MOU between them and the commissioners.
Yeah, so we'll work that out with our board, and our board is actually realigning, and there'll be basically just a fiduciary board that is, I believe Ashley will be your representative, Commissioner Winning, Mayor Marsh, and Councilman King, Dr. King will be actually for that, and that's not to say that those will be your go-to point people, but that's not to say that, yeah, we can't enter into an MOU just to say, hey, this is how it's there. That way it is on file, it is on paper, everybody knows that is the way. And then, the city does claims once a month, just the same as you guys do. It's just getting on that schedule to make sure that it is, and hopefully the amounts are almost fixed to the point where we know when it's coming and what it is.
I think we need the MOU first.
We're gonna make a motion.
You want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion, we do. The payment on the motor road. County pay it first, city pays back.
Got a motion from Kenny,
I'll second it.
Rick seconds it. Any other discussion, questions?
It only relates to Motorola. It's the only expense that's
Yes.
happened.
Yes. That is literally just this account.
All those in favor? Any opposed?
All right, we'll bring it back next month.
Thanks, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Todd Howe. Todd here.
So Todd couldn't make it, something came up, but he just has his CCMG 2026-1 proposal for Danny and Christie to sign. He's in the midst of applying for that grant, so just housekeeping on our end, we just give the commissioner and council. So you should have it.
So I got it here for 250,000, correct? It's been approved by the commissioners. We just have to approve it. If you want to look at it, well, here it is. Same grants we've been approving for just last year. $250,000 to CCMG grant. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make it. Motion.
Artie makes a motion. Bill seconds. Any other questions, discussion?
If we get awarded that, that'll actually give us $500,000 for it because it's matching.
No, I don't know. Yeah, I think so.
80/20.
Is it a matching?
Is it? Oh, so,
Yeah, 80/20, yeah.
75-25, and I think they changed it to 80.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Christie, that will be in charge of that. Okay, Sheriff.
Good morning. Item number one, I laid the commissary report out for you the first half of this year for your review. No action needed. Just begin for your review as mandated by law. Any questions about that? Again, if you're having trouble with one to say tonight, just pull it out and that's what I say. Item number two, we had an unexpected expense come up to us last couple of days. One of our outside surveillance cameras went out. It's a 360-degree camera. It works from our Sally Port area, our fenced-in area, should we have to evacuate the building and part of our parking lot. So we really need to get that replaced. And this was something we were not expecting, I had not budgeted for. So I went to the company that installed the original one, which I laid a copy of in front of you from Accurate Controls. They want $10,424.60 to replace that camera. I've since been in contact with Josh Trust as well, see if we can get that cheaper. He believes we can. He was out part of the week last week, so he's still working on that. So the commissioner yesterday approved spending up to this $10,000 to replace this camera. The issue is, again, I don't have funding in my budget for this. So I suggested to them yesterday either Cume Camp or the jail tax fund because it is part of the building. So they approved that again with hopes that you would approve the jail tax fund to pay this camera replacement. That's why I'm coming before you today is ask for that amount, up to that amount to replace that camera, the jail tax.
Okay, 10,000. So what's your
Up to $10,424.60, yes.
I guess we've got special taxes for myself.
Part of the building.
Part of the building, so.
I'll make a motion, we allow him to spend up to 10,000.
Okay.
424.60.
Bill makes a motion. Dan seconds. Any other questions?
There's gonna be any warranty on it, I mean, is it gonna go out in a few years like this did, or?
Yeah, there should be a year warranty on it, yeah.
I would like to get a year out of it.
Yeah.
But again, we're 5 years old, so this one was 5 years old.
They got a motion by Bill, second by Deanna. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those, any opposed? Good.
Thank you. The last item, we've come across a product that we'd like to purchase for our jail. Again, I laid it out, the reassurance quote. What this is it's a radar medical detector. We have 2 padded cells, we have 2 medical cells. I'd like to purchase 4, 1 for each padded cell, 1 for each medical cell. It's like a smoke detector size. What this does is it's radar again. maintains the biometrics, if you will, for the person inside. So if there's a heart rate jump or low or respiratory, an alarm goes off in booking and control alerts our staff. Both the pad cells and medical cells get checked every 15 minutes. As we all know, if you're having a medical event, that 15 minutes could be a long time. We previously had one death in our medical cell. If we'd have had this alarm, it may have helped save that person. Again, I'm looking at mitigating our liability should we have a death in one of those cells, because those are our four most high-risk cells. If they're in a medical cell or if they're in pad cell, you're either going to have medical problems or mental health problems, one or the other. So I think my opinion is this is a cheap investment if we can save a life and save our liability as well, quite frankly. It's hardwired to be mounted above the cell door. Again, it just maintains the medical information from that person inside the jail, a cell. You get $29,000 is the quote. That's for the installation. There's a $900 per year maintenance agreement on each one, so $3,600, which I'd be willing to pay out of commissary going forward. But I would like to purchase this again to mitigate our liability should something happen. And we've had one death in one of our medical cells in our facility in the last two and a half years previously.
That was like 160,000 or something.
Yeah, right. So again, other counties are using this and they're finding value in it. And I believe it does have value for us as well.
How many units you get? Four?
Sorry, four, yeah.
4 units.
So again, since it's part of the building, I'm asking, again, the jail tax fund be a possible revenue to fund this.
Is this something that has been out a long time or something new or?
A year and a half.
Okay.
We have, yeah.
There's nothing goes on the person.
Nothing goes on the person.
Yeah, it's all and
Correct.
Adams County, our sister jail that we modeled after is using this technology. And they, so it's in a facility that's exactly like ours. The cells are exactly the same. It's working like it's supposed to.
Yes.
Having good luck with it.
You think it's necessary for 4?
Well, it's not unusual for us to have all 4 cells occupied. We had one inmate who had to go to the hospital for 3 days before last surgery. He is still in our medical cell recovered from the surgery. So that's a prime example of the need for it.
There's no interaction with defibrillators or anything like that in relationship to radar and all that.
Yeah.
I know you just had a jail inspection not too long ago. Do they recommend that you have that or do they say anything about it?
No, that never came up in discussion.
any other questions? That will help with some liability, I hope that.
Well, it should help a lot, really, because again, as Bill said,
What's the subscription cover? Is that repair on or with her?
again, it's the maintenance agreement for every year. So yeah, if there's a problem, they should come in and fix it, yes.
What's the lifespan of these things? They give you any?
No, they did, but I anticipate it being lengthy. Because again, it is hardwired, it's not battery operated, nothing like that.
But that's off some kind of alarm or something, or how?
Yeah, there's usually always somebody on the booking desk. So one alarm will go to the booking desk, there's always somebody in our control room. So we'll also go to the control room. So there'll be almost immediate response should the alarm go off.
I just, I don't know, but I don't know. Once we get the budget all done, everything like that, it's not gonna put you in a bind if we would put this on hold for just a month or two. If we would need to look at everything else.
Well, it's good for 30 days, so we don't read, that's all. And it is part of the building, so we could come out and special purpose.
I'd like to know a little more about it. It's like magic. thing you put on the wall, it tells you the heartbeat and all that.
Again, because of the technology, it can monitor their biometrics. Their respirations and heart rate, so should one of them fluctuate up or down, it senses that and sends the alarm.
How often are you having medical emergencies? But
It's probably a couple of weeks, 2-3 a week. It's not unusual for us to transport inmates to the hospital.
My thought is I'd like to see you try 2 of them and see if everything works before we spend 30,000 on 4 of them, I guess.
If there's an economies of scale to do 4 rather than 2.
Well, that's what I might think. Might be a better price with 4, but
I think it's a small price for the risk that it's mitigated.
it is.
So
Yeah, I'm kind of, actually, I think it's minimal. Do I?
I'm in favor of
I would agree.
To take some liability out of it.
You know, that's an unfortunate thing where, you know, we sat here and talking about $29,000. Yeah, it's $29,000, a lot of money. But every time we turn around or liability factor and that kind of stuff, it could cost us a whole lot more money than that. If something would happen, we more proactive to take care of it. Kind of puts us in a hard spot every time we turn around. Take $29,000. Still $29,000, but I think that's pretty cheap insurance policy to get a loss.
3,600 every year on top of that.
Well,
So, yeah, I'll pay that conversation.
And if something would happen, we could say, look, we're going to these measures to try to prevent.
yeah.
Correct.
I'll entertain a motion to approve. Ashley makes a motion to approve.
Second.
Deanna seconds. Any other questions, concerns?
Taking it out of jail tax.
And special purpose tax?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, all those in favor? Any opposed?
Thank you very much.
Mr. Noblet.
Morning.
Morning.
All right, so, I'm just here for, some approval on, staff. We are hiring a new, fill our last maintenance slot. With that being said, our maintenance 1 spot is open. I've got guys right now, in maintenance 2 and 3. So I'm wanting to bump them up to maintenance 1 and 2, hire in our new hire and maintenance 3. So I'm just asking, and money's already in the budget for this year, it's already set. We got it. So I'm just, asking for approval to move Eric Ziegler to maintenance 1 and, Jack Nance, maintenance 2, and then we'll hire in for maintenance 3.
Who'd you move up for Adam's spot?
Jody.
Jody.
Yeah.
That's good.
You're supposed to have one.
Yeah.
You have 3, right?
Yeah, so I, right now, have my current maintenance supervisor, Jody, and then, maintenance 2 and 3, so 3 total now, and hiring, yeah.
Is there a difference in 1, 2, and 3, or?
So
when you're
right
behind
now,
Jody, or, well,
so Jody does have pay above all. Maintenance 1, does have a little bit higher pay. 2 and 3 and the salary ordinance are paid the same right now. So Eric would get bumped up a little bit paid, but it is the budget for this
in
year.
your opinion, Eric is qualified?
Yes,
to hold that 1 position?
I believe both of them do a great job. They're both qualified.
That reflected in your proposed budget for next year also.
No, so it's, I built in with us being fully staffed for next year, built into next year's budget.
Your board approved it already.
Our board, yes.
Anyone else have any questions? Here's to entertain a motion to approve. And hire a maintenance tree.
Make a motion to approve.
Ashley makes a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Jenny seconds it. Any other questions?
So motion's to move the other two up and then.
Move the other two up. Okay, yeah, those two up. R1.
And that's what you had, right?
Yes, next, yeah.
It's just a replacement. Correct. Add up and move.
Yeah,
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thanks, sir.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Okay, we've got salary ordinance update. Got one for Q1 amendment, road crew. New. Let's see. You got any CDLs correct and moved up? Daryl Sale?
Yes.
Okay,
This county highway.
county highway employee. Passed his training and now holds CDL Class B license, which he qualified for the lowest pay at $21.30 an hour. Everybody get that one? Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion. Approve it. Look how much advancement it is.
You
20 to
21.30. Went from 28.5 to 21.
And I agree with him. That's not much of a thing for
No.
CDL.
I'll second Bill's.
Rick seconds. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, Q2. If I can figure this out. Okay, this is salary ordinance for park. This is where you moved up? Moved them up? Okay. Where one got moved up to maintenance 1, maintenance 2, one from maintenance 3 to maintenance 2. Jail. Moved somebody from deputy to corporal. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. And courthouse security. Went from corporal to transport officer. And the sheriff incentive pay. For poll 1.
Instructor.
Pardon?
It's instructor pay.
And when you want to look at it, you come down through here. If you want to see them. That'll turn into a monthly thing.
Correct. So I do just want to explain that because of the way that we do the salary ordinance, we have names on there, names of positions. So anytime someone's pay changes, even going to like for the jail, night shifts, anything like that, this has to be approved before their pay can change. So in the past, we were doing it kind of, I would bring salary ordinances
November quarter.
beginning, right, and then mid-year and then the end, but we found out that it has to be done before the change can be made. So this will become a month.
As long as all the administration and the county offices know that, can explain that to the employee. Is that an issue then?
But
No, not for us, no.
I think it's
I
just
would think
gonna,
it wouldn't be, as long as you
it's just gonna take a little bit of
communicate that
Right.
to everybody.
upfront ahead of time, getting
Yeah.
things to us a little earlier.
State Board of Accounts. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve amendments to salary quarter 3. Pardon?
Quarter 2,
Quarter 3, it says.
did you do the 2, the park and the jail? You may have told me.
They're on the
They're
top.
on this on here, park and jail, they're all on here.
Okay,
They're all on here.
I'll make that motion.
Anna makes a motion to approve amendments to salary quarter 3. Need a second.
Second.
Rick seconds. Any other discussion, questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Transfers. Got 2. Health Department, $191.88. Trucks and road equipment, the utilities from highway, $15,000. But there's nobody here to ask why, but
No.
How did the highway get $15,000 from the very?
I don't know.
I was wondering the same thing,
they're
Kenny.
a little more than, so Todd's aware, he's not been watching his cash balance. He didn't realize I guess he's just been watching his location budget. So he's got some cleanup to do over there. But utility wise,
There was issues with REMC this spring. They had something was programmed wrong on their meter. Yeah.
the wrong multiplier, correct. So they ended up having to pay back 15, I mean, it was $15,000 to $17,000 from past time. We didn't think there was a lot of back and forth. I believe commissioners spoke with REMC because they didn't think that we should have to pay for it since it was their issue putting the multiplier on, but
Okay, yeah.
it was quickly explained to us that we did, in fact, need to pay for it.
You want, I would imagine you want to like transfer you pay for.
And all
Sounds like Motorola.
everything going on fair too. It was decided that
Yeah.
it was time to make sure that we reconcile that.
So it's not something that we're going to have an occurrence on.
No.
ongoing, his bill is much higher now each year each month by a lot. It was a multiplier of 1 is what they have this, and it should have been a multiplier of 10. So it's
That's all
significantly
three-phase.
higher.
That's zero.
Yeah, I think that.
Okay, I guess that explains that. Okay. I'll entertain a motion on transfers.
I'll make a motion.
Any makes a motion to accept transfers. 30 seconds. Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Additional. We got one $3,000 office supplies for
Not there, who that?
it's for countywide
For 911.
911. This is coming out of 911. So I'm just transferring it on. Correct? Do what? Yeah.
Why wasn't this just put on a transfer?
Yeah, let's go.
Do I?
Why wasn't it just put on a transfer?
Must be homes in
They're
addition.
pulling it from their account. They're asking for more money to be put in their budget.
You're asking for more
From their
money to
account.
put in the, from one account to another. It's, we go through this a lot of stuff too, where it ends up being an additional instead of a transfer. You probably shouldn't transfer it, you should make it an addition. Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Kenny makes a motion,
I'll second.
Bill seconds. Any other questions? All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay. That's all I have on the agenda. Anybody else have anything for us?
Yeah, I'd like to.
Trying to start?
I sent you all two emails, one was a draft of a long-range planning committee, and the second was adding some additional responsibilities to the salary and personnel committee. So if you guys want to review those, we can talk about them more next month.
And then I got an email yesterday regarding the Lilly Selection Committee. You guys pick who you want to be on that for the foundation. Currently, it is Mary Lou Gauck for the year, so it's time to pick who you want to be on it again.
Ernie?
Sure.
Mary Lou, want to do that again? Foundation?
Okay,
Need a motion and,
let's do it.
okay,
Like,
actually makes a motion to approve Mary Lou Gow.
Second.
Rick seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
You just got railroaded. And did you get, there was two banners, Christie, that didn't get paid. During the fair. I sent you.
Do you know how, I did see that email and we checked. We paid for 13
There was two extra orders.
on top of that 13, so I wasn't sure if that invoice was for the two extra, like
Yeah.
it was 11.
It's for the two extra.
Okay,
There should have been two invoices I sent you.
okay.
Should have been one for, I can't remember how many, for the first batch I went down. Then we had to order two more.
And I remember you asking if they got paid, and I did remember seeing the banners
The one,
invoice come through. I think it was that first one.
Yeah. okay,
We will get that.
okay. Anybody else have anything for us?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
Kenny makes a motion to adjourn. Ernie seconds it.
Oh, hold on.
No,
You got nothing?
Well, just real quick, just to I'll give you guys ready update. Ready one, we're 76% dispersed as far as projects being completed. We have, I think, 3 to 4 outstanding projects. One of them being the Preserve Main Street, which should wrap up soon. And that does put us, as far as performance, we're in the top 2 or 3 in the state still as far as ready one. Ready two, we have 3 projects actively receiving funding. We expect more. We're just being held up at the state level as far as the big one for Decatur County is the fairground. Probably aware. So all that information is in. We got initial approval and just kind of going through the approval stages. We're at the mercy of the state at that point. I'll let Don maybe talk about August 21st. And then I'll just tell you the housing studies. We've had some focus groups all last week. Gathering more information. So that continues to progress.
And the chamber is partnering with economic development to present an event this Thursday, August the 21st from 11 to 1. Attendance is free, lunch is provided. We do require registration. It is a workforce partners event where we are bringing in the Indiana Department of Education, the Indiana Chamber, Ascend Indiana, and Connects with Indiana to talk about the new high school diploma requirements, what that looks like for our students, what that looks like for our schools and having and needing to partner with our business community and how we can help build those relationships and find placement for our kiddos as they need to now have upwards of 650 hours, depending on the diploma level, to graduate. So anyone is welcome to attend that. Again, we'd appreciate a registration. A lot of questions. There'll be a panel discussion at the end. A lot of helpful information.
Anybody in elementary education need to attend that, or is it all?
I would say high school. Yeah. And we do have representation from all of our high schools, from the building principals.
But local government also would be a possible option, I believe, for students to partake, so.
Sure, there's work around here, insurance sketches.
I got plenty at home.
Think they have to be paid though.
There is actually, that is not the case.
Okay.
So it can be paid or unpaid. And they've got different buckets. So it could be job shadowing, it could be an internship, it could be apprenticeship. And we'll get more, like, we don't know all those answers, but that's why we're bringing them in, is so that we can learn a little bit more about what is required of the business or the organization.
Not sure, Don, mowing Yankees lawn.
Yeah. I only say.
We can try again.
Everybody needs to learn how to stack.
All right, I'll re-enter my motion.
Okay, next motion to adjourn, Ernie seconds. Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, you want to set up